Hi, I'm Greg Schaefer, and welcome to the virtual CISO moment. A few months ago, in March of 2025, I recorded a few interviews at the ISACA Middle Tennessee Conference over in Cool Springs, Tennessee, just south of Nashville. And this is the fifth conversation from that day. This is with Dan Hauser, who has been around and done a lot in the industry for years. A few things listed on his LinkedIn include vCISO, 2024 Chair of the Board, ISC2, Advisory Strategist, Board Member, Author, Global Speaker. He works in Identity, MFA, and APAC are his passions, and an NACD Certified Director. So a lot of stuff there, and he brings a lot of that stuff to this conversation. It's packed with a lot of great information. Hope you'll enjoy it. Hi, I'm Greg Schaefer. We're back here at the ISACA Middle Tennessee Information Security Conference, and I've got Dan Hauser with me. Dan, thank you so much for taking a few moments from this great conference just to chat with me.
Great. Thank you so much, Greg. My pleasure, just hanging out with you. And what a great conference. It's their first annual. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know.
Very successful.
The only drawback that I can see is because I've been doing the podcast stuff, I haven't had a chance to really enjoy the sessions yet. Mm-hmm. But when I have popped my head in, I've been really amazed with some of the chats there. Mm-hmm. But so tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Sure. So currently right now I'm freelance, but I do virtual CISO advisory work. I love identity as my passion. So I find myself doing a lot of identity strategy where I will come into an organization, look at where the business is headed, where they need to be 2 to 3 years from now, mm-hmm. based on their organizational strategy, then figure out what the right path is for identity or cybersecurity or both to make sure that they, in the words of Wayne Gretzky, skate to where the puck is going to be.
Yes. And that's a great analogy too, because I that's actually one of my favorite ones out there. So mm-hmm. I totally get it. It's a hard space though, as far as the helping businesses with their information security needs and to skate to where the puck's going to be. It's not mm-hmm. native for them to understand that they have to think in that sort of a motif. From your perspective, as far as working with businesses, and I understand that you work with more like medium-sized businesses and larger enterprises?
Medium to large, yes.
Medium to large.
Mm-hmm.
Today, what would you say is the most significant information security threat that they face?
Boy, only picking one is difficult, but I think I would choose, I'm going to take two. I'm going to cheat.
No, that's fine.
All right. Ransomware continues to be a very real threat, and the bad guys continually change their tactics with that. Now it's not just, a crypto type event, but, it's gone to full on extortion.
Right. They might release the data.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or just sell it off.
Yeah.
Right. Put it on the dark web, put it on the open market. That and credentials, credential compromise and account takeover continues to be just an enormous threat. I think 90% of compromises are due to account takeover and credential use by the bad guys. And I heard somebody say a joke a little bit ago that the other 10% are lying. So it's
right.
In most cases they're not hacking you anymore. They're hacking your credential and just logging in.
Right.
And so identity it continues to be a very strong ally in having a diligent identity program to be able to thwart the bad guys. But you can't have a myopic focus on only one area.
Well, wasn't multi-factor authentication supposed to solve this?
Well, you can't just take it and sprinkle like pixie dust and have solved all your problems. We don't live in a Tinkerbell world, unfortunately. So the bad guys have adapted that as well too. They're very good about getting you to bypass MFA, and most organizations, if you call up and say I've lost my token, my phone can't sync, whatever. A lot of them you still get bad factor. Mm-hmm. So even though on your best day you have good multi-factor, on your worst day your users are being compromised via smishing, I think it's called. I hate that term, but I don't make them up.
Or SMS phishing.
Phishing.
Sometimes people like to say, look, it's all phishing.
It's all phishing. It's all social engineering, right? It's pretexting, right? Lying to you, etc. They can use that. They're certainly malware on phones is a big concern. A lot of people have landed on phones. there are a lot of attacks on those factors, and at the end of the day, if that is bypassed, then like as not, their password is probably summer 2025 now, exclamation point, because if you have that 90-day recycle.
How did you know?
How did you? Oh man! Wait, are you still on
No,
spring?
I'm on spring. I'm on
okay.
spring.
All right.
Oops.
Or really throw them off and go to autumn now. That's that always nails them. But yeah, I mean, your users are horrible at picking passwords,
Right.
and they're also really bad about spotting attacks. And bad guys are great about using emotions.
Yeah, they get impatient, and multi-factor fatigue, where you're pounded, and they finally just say, "Look, I'm done with this stuff.
Right.
Well, fine. I don't know what this is. Just go away."
Yes.
And they click yes, and then
you get an auto dialer to hit somebody up every random number of minutes between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. And at the end of it, they're just hitting pound. Make this go away. Stop. And then they have a real login that happens, and they go to sleep.
So what is the fix?
I think a lot of the attention needs to be on moving to passwordless and on bolstering identity verification. It used to be called identity proofing. Now folks are usually calling that identity verification. You can think of, you see this at the airport with Clear, with TSA, and looking into the facial geometry scanners, et cetera, looking on your license. It's that same technology. And if you're going to fall back to anything, you still should have two factors, because there will come a day when somebody can't remember their password, they lost their token, whatever it is, their phone has been stolen. Now what?
Right.
And that they have to log in. Now what are you going to do? And you want to have a really good answer for that.
Yeah, because the worst thing you can do is to lock people out of the information and the applications that they really need to get to.
Well, it's best of or worst of both worlds is failing shut. Right, from an engineering perspective, failing shut, circuit closed, right, allowing everybody in. Failing open, now there's a gap and nobody can log in, and neither one is good.
Right.
So I think you want to have a really good conversation about what are all the steps, and at the end of the day, maybe it's like, hey, you need to actually go into one of our retail stores and talk to the manager. You need to go into the facility and talk to the security guard and come in person. I don't know what the magic answer is, but identity verification seems to be one of the answers to be able to do a remote authentication event that is getting really good. Yeah. And that's probably one of the more important areas to invest in the near future. And we're seeing some pretty good growth. I mean, it used to be that was very poor technology. You could defeat it very easily. The iPhone 10, when it came out, had issues with a mother and son, that the child was able to unlock the mother's phone because their facial geometry was similar. Yeah. And twin issues and all the rest. But identity verification is getting quite good. So I think that's probably the answer is passwordless and identity verification.
See, I don't have that problem because nobody wants this face. So it's just nobody wants it. So first year we're doing this conference through this chapter. What do you hope to get out of the conference today?
A lot of it is really, one of the main reasons people go to conferences is networking.
Yeah.
I'm relatively new to the area. I just moved down here from Columbus, love the Nashville area, and just trying to meet the local folks and network. But I've really been impressed with the content that I've seen here today. Some really solid content about AI and AI governance and data provenance, about the directions that ISACA is taking in the near future. And they've just redone the vision and mission statement, and so many cool things to hear about how ISACA is retooling for the next generation. They're rolling out, they have rolled out AI education, and in that process, they learned a lot of things. So hearing about the organization making itself stronger as it expands its focus is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, welcome to Middle Tennessee.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you spending a few minutes with us to chat about everything information security, what we could get in. So thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. My pleasure.
All right.